Okay, now. I tak dengar suara you.
Kami pun tak dengar suara saya.
Tak dengar? Hello?
Okey dah. Okey.
Tak lain maksudnya sebenarnya aku nak check dia so kita kan tak sebab dia
This is Farah Hanisa. This is Nadia Fatin. This is Farah Amani. This is Zahari and this is Mimi Nur Syafiqah. We will begin our presentation now.
Okay. For the first chapter, introduction, our problem statement is the problem of childhood obesity has been linked to long-term health risks and widely recognized as a serious public health concern, with obesity being classified as a disease in 2013 by American Medical Association. Nowadays, mostly parents are ignorant towards their children's food intake, while children eating behaviors and habits are learned and developed in the context of a family environment shaped largely by parents. Okay, our research objective is firstly to study the effect of parental feeding practices on children's diet. Secondly, to study the correlation between parental feeding style and children's diet. And then to study the relationship between control feeding style and children's diet. Fourthly, to study the relationship between encouragement feeding style and children's diet. And then to study the relationship between emotional feeding style and children's diet. Lastly, to study the relationship between instrument feeding style and children's diet. Next is our research question. Firstly, does there exist any correlation between parental feeding style and children's diet? Secondly, does there exist any relationship between control feeding style and children's diet? Thirdly, does there exist any relationship between encouragement feeding style and children's diet? Fourthly, does there exist any relationship between emotional feeding style and children's diet? Lastly, does there exist any relationship between instrument feeding style and children's diet? Next is literature review.
Next is our literature review. So the first is the obesity is the most common health facing children. The most recent data from the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey 3 suggests that 22% of children and adolescents are overweight and that 11% are obese. So next is children's diet may be influenced by parents, friends, schools, the media, and their own tastes and preferences. Next is hence, parents have some responsibility for children's dietary habits as they often being the focus of public health intervention designed to improve children's diet and thereby reduce the prevalence of childhood obesity. Next is parents create environments for children that may foster the development of healthy eating behaviors and weight, or that may promote overweight and aspect of disordered eating. These studies provide evidence for a relationship between parents, child feeding behaviors, children's dietary intake, and child weight. Other than that, FATE 2004 state India study that the relationship between parental feeding styles and child BMI score depends on child obesity predisposition, suggesting a gene environment interaction. Then the F. Johnson 1, J. Warder and J. Griffith study concerns about the quality of young children's diet. This paper described the development of a measure of health eating behavior for use with adolescents. Correlation between measure indicates a good level of conversion validity, and the checklist is almost shown to have high internal and test reliability. Besides the purpose of Isabel Lin the one named Feng to CAT 2017 study is to summarize literature regarding parental influence and childhood overweight as well as proposed suggestions for future research. Parental control, attitude, and eating behavior were examined in order to determine the parental impact on pediatric overweight and obesity.
For methodology,
So the targeted population, the population of this study are the families that have children aged between 1 to 12 years old. The sample size for this study is 280 respondents. And 140 children were selected from BMI obesity and 140 children were selected from BMI normal. Our sampling design is we using a quota sampling as a sampling technique because the respondent was choose that possess characteristic that the study want. The respondent that had children aged between 1 to 12 years old. Okay, our research design is descriptive research design of survey type was used for this study, and the population of this study is the family who have children aged between 1 to 12 years old, and the questionnaire are to be distributed in a way all sample in the population have an equal chance of being selected without bias. Okay, the data collection method, we use direct questionnaire since it's handing the questionnaire personally to the respondent. The advantage is direct questionnaire is cheap and it saves time. It offers greater anonymity, and the advantage is differences in understanding, differences in interpretations by the respondents.
of the study. First, from pie chart, we can conclude that there is 146 boys and 134 from girls. Then this one, bar chart. So we can conclude that boys has higher tendency to be obese rather than girls. So among boys and girls that have BMI obese is 79 and 58 respectively. Then this one, Pearson correlation. From here we can conclude that all the feeding style have positive relationship between BMI.
Based on our JC, we do Pearson test to find the relationship between core feeding style and BMI. First, relationship between control feeding style and BMI. Our alternative is there is relationship between control feeding style and BMI. From the table, the Pearson correlation between control feeding style and BMI was performed on 218 data. Based on the result using Pearson correlation, there is no relationship between control feeding style and BMI since p-value equal to 0.55, 0.77758 is more than age significance level 0.05. Second is relationship between encouragement, feeding style and BMI. Alternative, there is relationship between encouragement, feeding style and BMI. From the table, the patient correlation encouragement, feeding style and BMI was performed on 218 data. Based on the result using patient correlation, there is relationship between control feeding style and BMI since P value is less than a significant level. Third is then the relationship between emotional feeding style and BMI. Our alternative is that relationship between emotional feeding style and BMI. From the table, based on the result using patient correlation, there is relationship between emotional feeding style and BMI. If the value is less than a significant level, Last is relationship between instrumental feeding style and BMI. Alternative is there is a relationship between instrumental feeding style and BMI. From the table, there is relationship between instrumental and style and BMI since P value is less than a significant level.
Teruskan je.
So from conclusion, from the result, we can conclude that there are relationship between emotional encouragement and instrumental feeding style with children's BMI, while control feeding style do not have relationship.
I tak dengar you cakap.
From the result, we can conclude that there are relationship between emotional encouragement and instrumental feeding style with children's BMI, while control feeding style do not have relationship between children BMI. So this is our reference.
Alright. Can I see your title again? Effect of parental feeding on children diet. Okay. And what is your problem statement? Tengok. Terlepas tadi. Okay. Is that it? And I want to see your research objective. So what is the difference between parental feeding style and control feeding style?
Under parental feeding style F4 control, instrumental, encouragement and emotional.
So what is the difference between control feeding style and parental feeding style? What is control feeding style?
Control how the parents control their children, children's eating, how they give their children, like control and encourage, like control and encourage, control like how amount they give their children eat, while encouragement how the parents encourage their children to eat, like prepare nice food, encourage their children to look forward in their meal, look forward in the last meal.
Right. Do you have the explanation on your report about parental feeding style, control feeding style, encouragement, emotional, instrument, semua tu ada tak dalam slide ni? Dia punya explanation.
Like, no.
In report, you should put all the explanation in report. And then I would like you to see some literature on parental feeding style, control feeding style, encouragement feeding style, emotional feeding style, and instrument feeding style. Right?
Okay.
Okay. Now look at your result. So for pie chart, this pie chart and bar chart to achieve which objective? Or you just want to show the distribution of the respondent. Boy is 146. Boys means the children lah. Is it? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Right. 146 tu apa? Parent ke children?
No. The children that are respondent punya respondent children.
Okay.
Hi.
Next slide. So bar chart represent BMI and gender. So gender, boy and girl lah. So let's say boy kan, under one parent dia ada you measure berapa boy and berapa children, berapa boy and berapa girl dalam satu family, ataupun satu saja you take benchmark.
So can you repeat?
Dalam satu family kan, ni termasuk dalam satu family tu you include boy and girl tu ada banyak ke atau satu saja?
One
only lah.
family, one
Right.
children.
So next slide. Next slide. So correlation between control and BMI. What is control?
Control is how the parent control their children eat. Which means the children cut their children, the parent cut their portion for the children meal or something like that.
Okay, I don't think the rationale from the result. Emotional feeding and BMI.
Huh?
Why you want to find correlation between emotional feeding and BMI? Why you want to find correlation between emotional feeding and BMI? This is back to
We
your
want to know the correlation BMI, whether they have a relationship between emotional feeding and BMI.
Okay, all right. So for the next slide, so I don't understand table number 2. Can you flip to table number 2? Right. I don't understand the value of rho here. Right. Rho, this value represent what? Correlation coefficient ka? What is this value? You say from table number 2, Pearson correlation, encouragement, feeding style, and BMI was performed. I assume that this is the result for Pearson correlation, right? So, betul?
Ni
Group number 2.
hypothesis testing.
Yeah?
Ni
What is the value?
from the hypothesis testing.
Sorry? Tak dengar. Kuat sikit.
test statistik.
Test statistics.
Yang hypothesis testing punya.
But you say that you are conducting Pearson correlation. So I don't understand this value. What is this value come from? For correlation coefficient is generally between -1 to 1 kan? This is more than 1. Right, this is not R value. Can you show me how you get this value?
Okay. Macam mana nak edit?
For others group, better you prepare dengan you punya R Studio in case I want to check your analysis, how you conduct the analysis. Okay. Can you show me your R Studio? I want to see how you get the result 2.3355.
Okay, so wait. Tak nampak asli terang. Sekejap. So this
Okay, just run the result for table number 2.
betul.
I want to see result for table number 2. Which one? Is it this one? The last one? Is it?
Yes, the last one.
The R value should be which one? 2.3 is the T statistics. This is not the coefficient of Pearson. Right, this is the Pearson result kan?
Yes.
So you should put this one instead of T, right? And this is the P value for correlation. Okay?
Sorry, sir.
Right, I want you to make a correction on that one. Right, for presentation, I will not give you marks lah for correlation, okay? So back to your presentation slide. Back to your presentation slide. Right. Tengok result tadi. For correlation, this one. Before this. Before table number 1. Before table number 1. So before this.
This one.
Right, this one. So I want you to present the result in proper table lah. Right. This is not a proper table. I think, is this the same with table number 1, number 2? Is this result same with table number 1, number 2, number 3? No. No, yeah. So you need to present in proper result lah, proper presentation table lah.
Okay.
Right? So make a correction, and when you want to submit the presentation slide to me, right? I want you to make a correction for this. Right? Everybody need to submit presentation slide kan? Right? You need to print the presentation slide. Right, next.
Okay.
Next. Next. This one small lah. Table number 3 pun you kena tukar lah. Right? This is not correct value kan? Right, next. So, jump to conclusion. So, you can conclude that there are a relationship between emotional, encouragement, instrumental, feeding style with children BMI. Right. So, I think it kind of ways of you punya slide. Kalau you just buat correlation, I think you should proceed with linear regression and simple linear regression and multiple linear regression. Right? Can you do a correction? Add another analysis to find which domain has most contribute to BMI, right? You should do all the features towards BMI using linear regression. Okay?
Actually, we did the simple linear regression and multiple, tapi tak letak dalam slide.
Then you need to add that one lah. In slide and in your report. Right. So in your report, you make sure you present the result in proper presentation table. Okay. All right. That's all. The next group.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Right.